In this tutorial, I will show you how to paint a crystal stone, step-by-step guidance. This video is divided into several parts. Creating the basic shape of the object and simultaneously applying color to the shape. In the coloring stage, we focus on value to separate the light from the shadows, ensuring the piece looks dynamic. In the value section, we design each shape based on the amount of the light and shadow it has, using analogous colors and practical brushes, all while referring to our image reference. Finally, we finish off by working on the edges with a bright color for the highlights. The original art is from Aaron Fowler, and I got this as my reference, and this is the result that I got. We have the image reference. Now it's time for the first fundamental, the shapes. Before everything, we want to shape out these nice crystal stone. So we create a new layer. We select the line tool. And on the empty layer, we want to shape out these nice crystal. So we start from top. Once you're done, you find half ton of these crystal and then you apply it. Now it's time for the main shape. We select the line selection again, and based on the image reference, we try to separate these parts. So the first part can be this one from top. We create a new layer and we select both and make them a group. Now we'll use this as the clipping mask, and at any time we create a new selection, we choose different color to shape our main object, and then we hold on Ctrl to select different colors, then we apply it. In some areas, such as this part, which we can't actually assign the same color, we can use brush. After we are done with the shaping the art, the next important fundamental is value. And the value is the high contrast and the low contrast. For the high contrast, we have the average light and average shadow. And whatever we have in between these two is going to be the low contrast. A combination of value and colors gives us this possibility to create a very stunning art. And for the color, we can use high contrast and low contrast of hue to achieve a good result. Of course, I will try to create a separate tutorial about this. Using the right brush for painting is essential to achieve smooth blends, sharp details, and polished final result. Of course, We should always keep our reference image in mind and choose the right brush accordingly. As we gain more experience, we will be able to use any brush we need to achieve the best result in our painting. I will use this kind of pencil brush, which gives me this effect. It is almost near to this brush. So now with this new layer, we are starting painting. So we sample the color by control. Sometimes we rotate by in Krita we can hold on control and middle mouse. And of course we have full control over here to change hue towards more saturated or desaturated. You can use bigger brush size at the beginning and then make it smaller to paint the details. Now I change my brush to something else. This brush creates very thin lines, so I will use them to make these more like a crystal. With a very subtle effect I will paint. There is no need to overuse this brush, just apply it in area that enhance the realism of the crystal. Now I'm using a different brush to refine the glossy edges and enhance the highlights. I'm painting with a very light touch, letting the pen table automatically adjust the opacity and the size. Now, by using a different brush, I'm working on the darker areas, which is the shadows areas. I'm adding variation to the shadow parts to break the uniformity and make them look more realistic. Sometimes to control light and shadow, you can sample from the lighter areas and paint away the shadow parts, or you can reverse it. After all these steps, it's time to focus on the edges. For the edges, we will use a high contrast, but be careful not to stroke around every shape. Make some parts of the lines thin and other thicker for more dynamic and realistic effect. For the edges, I'm using a very thin brush to achieve delicate highlights. And here is the final result. I'm adding the light beam and the light reflection at the bottom to make the piece more captivating.